Well, you're not going to believe what I just found, that it's just unbelievable, this statement. Remember, in the last couple of videos, I was talking about this corridor, and that Benjamin Netanyahu stood in the UN holding up the map saying a new Middle East. And then I was telling you that this has been in the plan. Part of it is the railway system, which they named after Donald Trump, the one that the train station that is going to land in front of the third temple, so that you can hop out and go up there and do your thing. And you're just not going to believe this. Remember, I told you Netanyahu was thanking and, praising Joe Biden for whatever he had done. And I had mentioned that billions of dollars kept going to Ukraine, and Zelensky was meeting with Netanyahu, and then they were both suddenly receiving billions of dollars from U.S. taxpayer money. So remember that I told you in the last segment that Netanyahu was praising Joe Biden for some reason. Well, all of the funds from American taxpayers has been going to Israel and to Ukraine repeatedly. Okay, so billions have been going there, and the only thing I could think they're praising Joe Biden for is money laundering to complete this gigantic historic project of this corridor that will rearrange the whole Middle East. So you're not going to believe this article. U.S. President Joe Biden said he is convinced that one of the reasons why Palestinian militant outfit Hamas launched the surprise terror attack on Israel on October 7th was because of the announcement of the ambitious India, Middle East, European Economic Corridor, known as the IMEEC. Sometimes they put IMEC. That was announced during the G20 summit held in New Delhi in September. Soon after Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th, the Israeli Defense Forces launched a massive counteroffensive against Hamas. Biden told reporters at a joint presser with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese that his analysis of the situation was based on his instinct. Yeah, right. I'm convinced one of the reasons Hamas attacked when they did, and he says, I have no proof of this, just my instinct, tells me is because of the progress we were making towards regional integration for Israel and regional integration overall. We can't leave that work behind. The President of the United States was quoted as saying by news agency PTI. This is the second time in less than a week that Biden has mentioned the IMEEC, the corridor, as a potential reason for the deadly surprise attack by Hamas. The corridor is being seen as an alternative to China's Belt and Road Initiative. The corridor comprises an eastern corridor that connects India to the Gulf region and also comprises a northern corridor that connects the Gulf region to Europe. The IMEEC, the corridor, will connect India, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and Europe. Biden further mentioned that Israel has the right and responsibility to respond to the slaughter of their people. He further added that the U.S. will ensure Israel has what it needs to defend itself against Hamas. He also noted that he has no confidence in the number that the Palestinians are using for the death toll in the Hamas-run Gaza Strip, where the health ministry says over 6,500 have been killed in Israeli attacks. Well, now they're saying that number's up to 30,000 Palestinians. He also said that in the past few weeks he's spoken to leaders in the region, including Jordan's King Abdullah II, Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Palestinian Authority Mahmoud Abbas, and Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And he also emphasized the necessity of promoting greater integration of Israel in the future, and that the aspirations of the Palestinian people shall play a significant part in building that future. So here's Joe Biden basically admitting by his instinct, supposedly, that the reason Hamas attacked is because of the progress that they were making with the historic Middle East corridor, the one that's going to go through Gaza and choke off Egypt. Is that not incredible? And he's mentioned it a couple of times. Now, the October 7th failure connected to Netanyahu helping Qatar fund Hamas. So the Jerusalem Post stated this February 6th, and Yoram Cohen said that the Netanyahu-led governments also failed to take any initiative to eliminate top Hamas leaders, only attacking such leaders in response to moves by Hamas. Former Shin Bet director Yoram Cohen slammed consecutive Israeli governments run by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu with facilitating Qatari funding of Hamas as being a deep strategic source of the October 7th failure to stop Hamas's southern invasion. Benjamin Netanyahu, he was allowing money to come from Qatar to counteract the Palestinian Authority and to boost the strength of Hamas, allowing that funding to come to Hamas. Speaking at Reichman University, while Cohen agreed that the IDF and the Shin Bet failed their operational missions to anticipate the invasion in advance and thwart it, he said that the larger problems were strategic and came from the government. According to Cohen, the government directly or indirectly, not mentioning Netanyahu by name, but referring to his governments, propped up Qatar and Hamas as alternatives to the Palestinian Authority when both were being boycotted by much of the rest of the Arab world. The former Shin Bet chief said that anyone today would say that helping a third country fund Hezbollah because of the economic crisis in Lebanon would be a colossal error, and that the same was true of allowing Qatar to fund Hamas, even if the strategy was well-intentioned to avoid the economic crisis which partially led to the 2014 Gaza conflict. Cohen said that the Netanyahu-led governments also failed to take any initiative to eliminate top Hamas leaders, only attacking such leaders in response to moves by Hamas. Regarding the day after the IDF withdraws from Gaza, Cohen said that it should be a mix of local Palestinian officials, Arab state-allied countries, Western countries, and also the Palestinian Authority. His validating integration of the PA was highly significant because Cohen is a major critic of the PA and has said it cannot be granted security powers over its territory. However, he still said it could be necessary to have the PA involved, something which Netanyahu has consistently rejected. And now you've got to put all of that, the national religious broadcasters in Nashville meeting with Trump and putting into place that no one should say the West Bank anymore on radio or media or journalism, and instead to call it Judea and Samaria. That means that Israel would have control over that area, the so-called West Bank, and they would take control of Gaza, and the corridor goes right through there. So that's why they're taking the whole Gaza Strip and trying to get control of it, and why they're choking off Egypt. And Joe Biden said in that statement that he's convinced that one of the reasons Hamas attacked when they did, he said it was just his instinct, nothing told him that, he didn't have any proof, was because of the progress that he and others were making towards the regional integration for Israel and integration regionally overall. In other words, the work that they've been doing to build this corridor. this trade, the gas pipeline, the hydrogen pipeline, the fiber optic cable line that's to go under the Mediterranean Sea. And right here we have the president's own statement that he has been contributing to this. So now we know where some of this money has been going of the U.S. taxpayers is to build this corridor. And he believes, based on his intuition, that that's why Hamas attacked. Give me a break. Man, this is unbelievable. So they knew something was going on with this corridor, that this led to the attack. Now, whether Israel allowed the attack through the Mossad, who did nothing, people didn't show up to help the people in the kibbutzes until, like, what, 8 hours later? And IDF soldiers of high rank that had been the IDF had said that there was no way anybody could get through that gate, that even a little tiny insect would set off the alarms. So then they said the alarms were shut off or something preposterous. All of this is happening because behind the scenes they are building this corridor that's going to be historic, and it's going to change the globe and change the world. And you know what they're going to try to do is bring everyone to Jerusalem when they put the king on the throne. They want to have a one world leader come out of Jerusalem there. I mean, to be reigning and on the throne of Judah. And to have the judiciary taken over by the Sanhedrin, you know, and implement their Talmudic laws and their so-called Torah laws and all of this stuff. We are no longer under the law. The Messiah is the fulfillment of the law, and the law brings a curse, and it keeps you bound in sin because you can never measure up. You'll always sin and screw up. So only the Lord could be the fulfillment of the law. And the law was just a schoolmaster to teach us that we're sinners so that we repent and realize that only God could redeem us and be the fulfillment of the whole law. The law keeps you in sin and death, and so does the red heifer ceremony. This is why the son of perdition is revealed at the red heifer ceremony. I'm thinking this more than likely, and, you know, red heifer can never take away people's sins. It can never purify them. Only the blood of the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Lord God of heaven, who came as our Yeshua to redeem us back to the Garden of Eden-like state. So here is Joe Biden's admission that Hamas did the surprise attack because of the India, Middle Eastern, European economic corridor, and because they heard it announced at the G20. That is just sickening, don't you think? Well, anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick update about what Joe Biden said, and that it's obvious that he has been helping fund this project. So where has that money been coming from? The United States taxpayers. So then all the wealth of Israel, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots, she will lose it all in 1 hour. The doom will come. And that will be the judgment of God, because they continue to deny that Jesus Christ spilled his blood to save them from their sins. So there's no more sacrifice for sins, and we're not under the law. But these people, the ultra-Orthodox up there in the Sanhedrin, want to get into the Knesset, and already are, partially, and want to enforce the law on the world on a global stage. Joe Biden is complicit in this situation. And here's the proof. Well, for now, I'll see you in the next video. Please give a thumbs up to get the algorithms to pass the video around. And thank you for supporting my channel. And I wanted to let Sheepster know that I got this today, a shofar necklace. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the gift and the blessing that you put in the envelope. I truly appreciate that. And also a couple of people that donated on my PayPal. Thank you so much for doing that. You know, I'm trying not to drown. Let's put it this way. Thank you so much. I got the I got this little seat fringes, and right now I had it sitting over here, but these little seat fringes was sent to me. Thank you so much. It is so beautiful. It has the blue thread and everything. So that's exciting. And I wanted to thank you guys for caring. It really means a lot. And, you know, I really need the help, or I wouldn't even have to say that. Maybe one day I'll be back like I was at my house and I won't have to say that ever again. So, God bless you. I'll see you in the next video. Hope you found this part interesting. Pretty unbelievable. And it proves where our taxpayer money's been going.